And up next, I'm going to make the cilantro chimichurri sauce. And I'm going to use my handy dandy little ninja chopper, which I don't use too often, but I thought that would be perfect for this recipe. So chop up some cilantro. I will use the leaves and the stems because the stems are nice and tender on a cilantro and they have great flavor. I'm going to rub it all in my blender. If I had to guess, I probably would say this is, 2 cups. 1 bunch of cilantro, most of the leaves and stems. I might add more if I feel like I need to. I'm also going to add those pineapple chunks I saved from before. I'm just going to go with 2 right away because I'm not quite sure. I know this will taste good, but I'm not quite sure how much pineapple flavor these will give off. If it's too much, I want to cut back and I'll add more cilantro if needed. And then a little bit of lime, not too much because the pineapple itself has acidity, so I don't want to over acidify it. But the best way to get the most juice out of your limes is to press and roll it on the counter, and that'll loosen up those little limey membranes in there. So I'll give it probably just like a teaspoon, yes. And then, because this will not be cooked, this will be just a raw sauce, I guess, say it that way. I'm going to use really good quality extra virgin olive oil I happen to have in my kitchen. And I will go ahead and add, I'm going to say that's 1/4 cup. I'll check the consistency after I get busy with the blending. Definitely going to need more than that. Let's just see. And here we're going to give it a whirl. Definitely need more olive oil. Smells good. Good glug. And this can be used for many different things. If you have more than you need of this chimichurri, don't be afraid to put it on fish or chicken or a salad. Would be lovely.
Freeze it for later?
Yep, you sure can. So here we go. We're going back, and I may need to add more olive oil again, but we shall see. Okay, because I need more oil and I don't want to use up all my really good extra virgin olive oil, I'm going to add in some avocado oil to this. There we go. That ought to do the trick. The lid back on, cross your fingers, and we shall hope for the best. It does smell really good. You know what? Before I do that, I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. Here's the pepper. Here is the salt, kosher salt. There we go. Back with the lid. You know, Mark, you talked about freezing it. It would be a good thing to do if you wanted to even freeze it in little ice cube trays, those little cubes. And then you freeze them first, and then you can take them out and individually, or rather after they're all frozen in the little cubes, you could place them all into a freezer bag, a plastic freezer bag, and use as many as you need at the time. There we go. I was struggling with that. All right, come on, let's do it, baby.
3 times charm.
Let's hope so. Definitely is a very pretty color. I'm gonna taste a little off the lid again. Now I'm gonna store this in the refrigerator while I prepare the flank steak. Okay, and here's the flank steak that I'm going to slice on the diagonal. What we're going to do is slice them into slices and then put them on skewers, and they will be grilled. But flank steak can be a very tough meat if you don't cut it on the diagonal. And when I say
against the grain?
Against the grain, right. I was just gonna say that diagonal doesn't make any sense. Against the grain. What you want to do is slice it against the grain to break up those fibers. So I'm going to do that, and it seems like I'm doing it upside down, and that's okay. I'm going to continue with the rest of this meat, and we'll be right back. So here's the sliced flank steak, but there are some really long slices. So what I'm going to do with those is just cut them in half to make them more manageable, and so they will fit on the skewers a little bit better. And now I'm going to just give them all a nice seasoning with salt and pepper. Liberally sprinkle them with pepper. I always use fresh cracked pepper, and then kosher salt.
And why kosher salt over just regular?
I like the way it seasons better. I like the flavor better for it over like iodized table salt.
Yeah.
And that was pretty liberal. And now I'm going to skewer them on some wooden skewers that I had been soaked in water. Now what I've seen before is like you thread them like sewing, and we'll see how that
That makes sense, yeah. It'd be kind of hard to go straight line all the way through that.
end to end. Okay.
Okay.
I will continue with all these pieces of flank steak. Gonna take a couple minutes. And then I'm gonna use the indoor grill pan. You can use the outdoor grill if you would like to on this recipe, but it's winter here and we have a lot of snow on the ground and the grill is all the way over on the other end of the deck and we don't have a path to it. Plus I like doing things in the house if you have the means to. So here are all the skewers that I've prepared.
Porcupine.
Right. Does look like a porcupine? Beef porcupine. So I'm gonna set these aside while today I'm using my induction heater just because I thought maybe this would work even better than the grill. So hang on and I'll show you what I'm gonna do. So I did say grill, but what I meant to say is I'm not gonna use the stovetop. I'm going to use the induction heater and this cast iron grill pan, and I did try it already and it does work. And a cast iron is a great cooking source because it evenly disperses heat. So I thought, well, this will work pretty darn well. It should, but what I did when I sampled it is it pretty much just only gave heat, unfortunately or fortunately, whatever, just to this area around the heater, the induction cooktop itself. It'll still work. So I'm preheating it now and then I'm gonna oil the pan and we're gonna start cooking the beef skewers. Okay, the pan has been heating to 425 on the induction. Now I'm gonna just brush the grill grates lightly with, this is avocado oil. It has a high smoke point and boy is it ready, I'll tell you what.
You substitute any other oils?
Yeah, but make sure you use an oil with a high smoke point, like maybe a vegetable oil, canola oil. But avocado oil seems to be my go-to oil. Very neutral flavor, and whoa, it says it has a high smoke point, but now I have to wonder. So, okay, one by one, I'm gonna put the skewers on crosswise from the grates, just because we want those nice grill marks. Sounds good.
Sizzle.
Sizzle for sure. Okay, we'll let these cook a couple minutes on the first side, flip them, and let them cook again on the second side. Don't forget, we already salted and peppered them. Decided I'm gonna just brush the skewers, the meat, the flank steak rather, just slightly on the other side with the avocado oil. Just to make it more smoky in here. Okay, it's been about 2 minutes, so now we're gonna give each one a flip. And then let them continue cooking on the second side. They got some nice grill marks. Just kidding. What do you think?
Yeah, it looks tasty.
Yeah, I think
I see that first one, like you say, with the thread though, some of it's not touching the grill pan. Maybe
that is
stretch
true.
them out a little bit more. So
yeah, I think maybe
flatter.
next time. Good point. I think maybe next time. But I've already got them. I'll just pull the meat out so they're not so wavy. But I do think that's going to cook through as the second side goes. So thanks. So I also decided to use my bacon press to finish the cooking process on these skewers, just to make sure that the more of the skewer meat touches the surface of the grill pan. Because some of them are quite wavy the way I threaded them. So this is a good way to maybe combat that problem. All right, so it's been about 10 minutes. I'm gonna say that these have been on fully. So I'm gonna take the first batch off of the grill onto a plate and we're gonna continue on with all the other skewers. So earlier on, I said I didn't think this grill pan was going to, cast iron grill pan was going to heat up from end to end because it didn't seem like it had earlier in my test, but that was wrong. And my original thought was it would heat from end to end, handles and all, is correct because cast iron does have a good heating ability where it heats the entire surface of the pan, not just what's over the flame. So I'm correcting myself and letting you know that if you ever do it this way on an induction burner, pans get hot, the handles get hot, so beware. It's done. This is the last batch. And then we get to move on to the next step, which is really garnish and eat, basically. And here are the flank steak skewers from earlier. And what you do next is the chimichurri that we made earlier. Drizzle it on. You can serve the chimichurri also at the table for people that want to add more to their skewers. What do you think, Mark? How does it look to you?
Looks tasty.
Definitely.
And colorful.
And colorful. Definitely the green adds a pop. Now, if you don't like cilantro, and I know there are a lot of people that do not, feel free to substitute parsley for the cilantro. That'll work just as well. And then top all that with some pickled red onions.
Oh, even more color.
Yes, for a little additional flavor and additional pop of color.
Yeah, what is it with the cilantro? Don't some people say it tastes like what, soap?
Soap,
Yeah.
right, which I don't find that
Yeah,
at all.
Yeah, me either.
Thankfully, you don't either, because otherwise, oh, well, I don't know what would happen to you. Kidding, of course, but I think cilantro has like a citrusy flavor, which I do enjoy. But not everybody's different. We all know that. So here we go. There's our completed flank steak skewers with chimichurri sauce. We're gonna get Mark to come around and give it a taste test. So here we are with Mark's taste test, and I'll give it a taste test too. Looks so good. So, Mark, you want to grab yourself a skewer that you like?
Sure, I guess I'll take the one closest to you here.
I don't know if you want to eat it with all of that goodies on it, but don't stab yourself. That's what I had a feeling would happen. All this stuff's gonna come. We do this for embarrassment. Just to embarrass Mark. Chewy?
Good.
Oh, that's manners for you. How does it taste?
Very good.
Yeah?
The onions are good too.
Okay, yeah, it kind of gives a nice little twang of extra flavor. I was gonna ask for a bite, but I'll just go ahead and take this one. So, might as well get both of our opinions. I like it. Chimichurri is a nice offset for the richness of the beef. And those onions cut right through all that as well. The tang of the pickled onions and the freshness of the chimichurri. I like it. I like it very much.
Yep, me too.
All right,
You've done
excellent.
good.
Thanks. So hopefully you like this recipe, and if you do try it at home, let me know what you think. And if you like this video, as disjointed as it feels to sometimes make them, just being honest, please, again, give us a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing to our channel, because we enjoy making the videos for you. So until we eat again,
Have a delicious day.
have a delicious day, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Cut.